Good morning.
Morning, Joanne.
Everybody else, I'm ready to apologize for being so late.
And you're first.
We're gonna pull it all together.
See, you don't have to apologize for anything. Morning, Bill.
Good morning, David.
Still getting the sleep out of his eyes.
I am. Yeah.
So Carol is not joining us because she has a doctor's appointment at this time.
I thought she was joining us some, but I guess not.
Well, I think that was last week because she had to be home to help John get ready for a meeting, for an appointment. But I think this time she said she had a 9:15 appointment.
I think you're right now that you remind me.
Yeah, I was kind of, on that. So anyway.
And I just had a message from Bill Nagel that he's not able to join us this morning.
Oh, we have private lesson here, Bill.
So just the two of you, I guess.
Well, the day before Thanksgiving, I think people are doing, last minute things or preparing for family or whatever.
Bill seemed to have some sort of problem. I'm not sure what. But he said he'd see us next week.
Okay.
So, good. So you get to ask any questions you want to.
Okay. I think I've trapped our cat in this room with me. I need to go release.
We all have cats in the room. All of a sudden, my cat came in as soon as David's cat came in, and now your cat.
They all want. want to show us how to do what we're doing.
They're very good at that. I have one cat that when I get on the recliner at night, he will just walk so slow over my chest so I can really watch him. Slow. It's kind of like, marking his territory by just walking across me.
Yeah. Yeah, one of ours tends to claim Jane too.
Yeah, they're funny. They do have their favorites. Yep. At times. About different things though, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll sit next to you, but Rick will scratch my neck for a longer period of time, kind of, All right.
So, do either of you arrive with any questions about what we are doing or what you are doing?
No, I just, full disclosure, I did not practice as much as I'd hoped I could do this week. Mm-hmm. It's never really the week I'll try to take off. It just is really cleaning up the overflow from last week. I think I grasp what we are trying to, particularly looking at last week. Kind of, not thinking too much, the competition among everything happening. It's just kind of, I can find that spot. It does take practice, but I feel like it's not unreachable for me. They're never really unreachable, but sometimes they feel a little more puzzling than others.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
And I think to do that, I think I'm still struggling a bit with the dissolving. But I try.
It's when we sit and meditate and dissolve, it doesn't seem so difficult to do, but when we are endeavoring to dissolve when we're moving, while we're moving, and trying to maintain a focus on what you're trying to dissolve while actually you're also moving at the same time. It's not easy. Absolutely.
No.
Practice.
Yeah.
Anything for you, Bill?
I had one satisfying practice where I intentionally tried to, at the maybe the first 5 or so iterations in each one, focus on one of the things we were doing. Whether it was opening and closing cavities, whether the 5 points or roundness or and so forth, and then after that, just continuing with the other iterations, trying to empty my brain, not empty my brain's activity into it. I think there's an increasing number of spaces in my brain anyway, but that doesn't matter. and that was that worked about half the time, I think.
Well, that's good.
At least it was going in a direction that I would at this point call working, just being present, but not controlling.
Yep. Well, that's definitely progress, so keep going.
There's a frustration level if you don't get it, but once you get it, even if you don't get it all the time, you kind of get it, and at least I know where I'm trying to get to, and I've experienced. The frustration is when you're like, what am I doing? Or what am I trying to do? And we have those moments.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure we will again and again.
True.
The one posture I still have problem feeling like I'm doing what either ought to or should, doing what I think I should do, or and not really quite sure what I should do is probably five.
Hmm.
So, because I still am having trouble coming down and raising my hands and then knowing what to do with them, trying to keep the energy coming up and then get them going down. There's just a timing thing in there that
Hmm.
if we could go through that in some detail, I'd appreciate it.
So that's a really interesting posture. You're right. In that we're doing what seems like counterintuitive. The sinking as the arms rise up through the center. But one of the things to really remember is that when you're twisting and lengthening in and closing as those arms rise, that allows you to pull the energy up. And so the releasing down, of course, is not probably as much of an issue, although again the body is going in the opposite direction. But it I think to really be aware of the fact that you are pulling the energy up and then you are pushing it down can sometimes be helpful in there. The certainly, I think for all of us, the at least initially, and probably longer, the difficulty there, for one thing, as you come out of 4, you have to be sure that you don't sink too much, but recognizing that you are condensing. Because if you go physically too far, it's very hard then to do the rising, the pulling up of the energy as the body continues to sink there. And so in that transitional movement, that's the most difficult one to do, because of the fact that you are condensing and pulling the energy down, and then you continue to pull it up, and then you're pushing it down. And to really focus on coming in to the dantian and up the central channel and out and down the left and right channels. And if you can, it's certainly for me the difficult part was getting that first sinking as the arms are rising, which seems so counterintuitive, and to keep the twisting and pulling in happening all the way up. We sort of have a little bit of a tendency anyway to kind of get stuck. We've gone as far as we can go with that, but we continue to lift the arms. But you want to have that sense that as you come in, that twisting and pulling up is continuing all the way until you go into the transition to go down. Mm-hmm. Does that speak speak to what you're?
Yeah, that helps. If would you mind turning sideways and do that transition from 4 to 5? Because how far away to have my arms is an issue too.
So one of the things that I've noticed, um, both with myself at one point and with almost everybody else, is not being aware that when you get up to the top of 4, that this is pulling down, that you're out. This is your furthest extension. So from here, without moving the body, the arms are coming down and into the dantian. And so that has to be continuous as you condense and make the movement smaller, because you want to maintain the ability to be able, as you begin to pull up, to continue to sink a bit there. And then it's much easier at that point to really feel the condense and not need to have a great deal of movement. Some, but the body doesn't have to rise and sink a lot. Is that?
Yeah, that's very helpful.
Other questions there?
You straightened out a couple of things for me.
Good.
Yeah, not right now.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Wait till next week and we come back and go, ay, ay, ay.
That's okay.
Why do I feel like I'm doing 2 instead of 5 or 5 instead of 2?
Yeah, and you have to be really clear about the distinction between those two, because they're not the same. They're very different.
Yep.
They're very different. So, I want to talk about Sheen today, heart mind.
Oh, good.
And I was going to tell you just quickly. On my second trip to China, I got to know Master Yu Yuan Hui, who was the vice abbot of Jade Spring Monastery at the base of Mount Hua. And he taught us a number of interesting things. But when I went into the cave up in the mountain, a couple of the days he came and sat with me, and we, in effect, I think, meditated together. And when I came out of the cave, he met me with the translator, because he couldn't speak English and I don't speak Chinese, and he encouraged me to keep working towards fully understanding Sheen, heart mind, and in effect he gave me my Chinese name Hong Sheen, which means constant or continuous awareness of heart mind. And so that's always been a really important element to me, and it is a very important one, and one of the most difficult and ambiguous to contact initially. Eventually it can become very concrete, but it is a difficult concept. So I wanted to really see if I could maybe clarify at least about it a bit. So Whenever anyone does any kind of energy practice or spiritual meditation practice, your attention has to be brought to what you are doing, and you have to be present to your attention. It's not enough to have attention and then lose it. Have it and lose it, have it and lose it. You have to be aware that your attention is happening. And you have to be fully present to what you are doing. So this is one of the hallmarks of all high-level energy or meditation practices. There are many terms for the state when this I didn't say that right. There are many terms for the state when this is not the case. In Buddhism, they refer to the monkey mind, and in China, they prefer the image of the bucking horse throwing his rider off. So once you have attention and are present and not being thrown off, then two other things come into play. One is ordinary intent. Being able to say, I want, means you have ordinary intent. However, referring your intent to where it is not scattered, moving around, or distracted, is the first degree of real intent. But to go to the next level or layer, what the Chinese call the heart mind, you have to go beyond ordinary intent to the place where your subconscious or your true consciousness lives. This is where your mind is united, where it is not scattered, where it is one coherent whole. They call this the heart mind, or Sheen. The heart mind is the place where thought comes from, not the thoughts themselves, because ordinary intent is the manipulating of thoughts. The heart mind is where a thought can arise from. And this is when you have entered the real world of Qi, the real world of spirituality, where Neigong and meditation meet. It is this heart-mind, before words even come into your head, that allow a person's prayers to be genuine. This is what allows a person saying a mantra to truly say the mantra. This is what allows a person doing Qi work to actually get everything moving. So this is what you must use in God's and every meditation practice in order to be able to let go of whatever binds your inside. So everyone has intent, and there are a million ways that you can use it. But there is really only one heart-mind. Now, where does your thought come from? What are the basics that even allow thought to arise? Where is it that your unconsciousness lives? Where is it that your consciousness can be awakened so it can be applied to whatever it needs to be applied to? This is the heart-mind, Sheen. The term heart-mind, Sheen, is used by some Taoists and not by others. Some continue to use the term Shun. The basic statement is Jing, Qi, Shun, Wu, Dao. Body, energy, spirit, emptiness, Tao. In Taoism, Jing means the body. Qi clearly means energy. Shun means spirit. Wu means emptiness. And the concrete comprehension of emptiness is Tao. So emptiness is understood in the beginning at many levels before one really understands what it is. You could refer to it to these as spiritual and full understandings. The term heart-mind actually has two implications to it. It has the implication in Taoism of Shun, spirit or emptiness, or Wu, emptiness. In the Lao Tzu tradition, when Taoists speak of the heart-mind, they are specifically referring to the fifth and sixth energy bodies, the psychic and causal or karmic bodies. The ordinary use of the word is referring to the energy running through the acupuncture meridians that make the physical body function. But when Qi is used in Taoism, it is actually talking about the Qi of the emotions and the mind and the psychic realm. Therefore, they are not just talking about physical Qi, because they are more likely to use the term Jing to refer to that. For them, that which creates the physical flesh, Jing, is the same as the energy you can't separate it from. The heart-mind speaks of the place that exists inside of you from which thoughts emerge. Both Taoists and Buddhists use the term heart-mind because it works to refer to the existence of that place that allows thoughts to emerge. In Chinese thought, we have the terms yin and yang. Now, yin and yang are in effect all thought. Whatever comes into your perceptual mechanism, emotional, mental, or psychic, have yin and yang qualities. It is the thing that, it is the thought. Nope, it is the thing, not another. It is rock, not a tree. There is always some yin and yang involved in human beings. The place where yin and yang come together and where yin and yang emerge from is in Chinese Taiji. When you were talking about the heart-mind, you're really talking about Tai Chi as applied to thought or perception, or some kind of thought. You have to have the thought to interpret any expression of any kind. The Taoists say that the true thought of Taiji is Wuji, or the Tao. It is the substratum of all and everything. But for human beings to recognize that is almost impossible. Human beings can recognize what it does for the personality. So you get a thought in your head, and the way that you perceive it is usually by some form of always occurring analysis occurring. Beg your pardon. When you think, I can move my head, if you go back a few levels, somewhere in there, your body has made the analysis and the decision about the movement you are making. If it may have occurred lightning fast, but this is what has gone on. But there is a phrase that allows, a place that allows those thoughts to burst through, and that is the heart-mind. Now, when you want to do a movement, something in you has to create the context of any thought you are going to have about how that movement is going to occur. The way almost everybody does it initially, and which opens the door to potentially incessant neurotic behavior, is to analyze it, want to figure out what it means and what it doesn't mean. How does it go? What does it do? Sprouting thoughts. Always try to make sense of every other thought. And very often they are exaggerating each of the separate thoughts to an incredible degree. The reason that neurotic ways of thinking, or obsessive neurotic thinking, this is the way of obsessive neurotic thinking. Ultimately, the solution to neurotic thinking is to have your thoughts be truly integrated and come from one place. Neurotic thinking is nothing more than a statement of separated thinking gone wild. There is no integration. If you get someone who is really clear about what something is, they are not going to start having a neurotic conversation about this thought. They're going to say, that is what it is, and this is what we are going to do. So, have you ever tried to have a conversation with a real neurotic? It goes seriously weird. The reason is that they make every thought they come up with important, and disconnected to the others. And this is not dissimilar to when you are practicing a form of Negong, like God's, and you cannot comprehend how to internalize all these parts at once. That is a statement of non-integration. Now, Tai Chi births yin and yang. And this is why yin and yang is in every aspect integrates. At the moment, it is not yin and yang. It's neither one, yin and yang, nor another. It's everything that could have to do with any aspect of yin and yang, that could ever come out of any form, because it is all contained in the Tai Chi. So from that, all yin and yang spring out and combine in ad infinitum. This is the point of integration. Now, what is the central quality of the element earth? It is integration. It's in the earth practices in Tai Chi, in Taoism, Chi work, that the way of learning how to integrate comes about. It is in the earth element that one finds and learns about the integrative force. In the Lao Tzu Tai Chi school, God's playing in the clouds is the is the bridge between Qigong and Neigong meditation. Because what is meditation but something that is eventually integrating the entirety of any human being in the world? So when total integration occurs, absolute freedom follows. So they mean the same thing from two different aspects. But the neurotic separating of this and this does not create freedom, because each and every yin and yang fights for dominance. There is no freedom when one part of you is fighting with any other part. You're in a war. Intrinsically, due to the nature of their structure, this is what happens if they are not integrated. So in this discussion of heart-mind and that I'm sharing with you, it is how Bruce Francis communicated it to me and how his teacher, Master Liu Hong Chie, shared it with him. I am using words to try to help you understand, but that is not how you're going to find the heart-mind. You are going to have to consider, what is this place inside you that integrates? Our bodies are intrinsically integrated. What is the force inside you that allows all the myriad parts of your body to work with each other? How do all the parts of the brain work together? Even Western science admits to knowing less than 5% of what the brain does. So, from Eastern thought, this state of Tai Chi doesn't even have to do specifically with your brain. Regardless of what it has to do with, there is something within you that allows you to integrate all the organs, glands, and to get your appendages to work together without falling apart. If your brain were to treat you the way a neurotic treats thoughts, you would probably explode into pieces. So something keeps it together. And what is it inside your body that allows you to integrate? What is it you have to do so that all parts of your practice can become one thing? The last part of the 16 Negong says, all things work together. So that is the statement of the heart-mind, which allows everything to be in peaceful coexistence with everything else, and which brings out your ability to recognize your finer perceptions, ever finer discriminations, and to have even finer control. But this is not a physical thing. This is not move this and move that and send the chi there. This is what allows you to do something and not let something else go. To have it allow all be there and be equally recognized. It takes a long time to learn about the heart-mind, but it is important so that you can integrate your body and what you are doing in God's. Now, when watching Bruce do martial applications, one is amazed at how many things are happening at once in every moment. How could he remember all of those so fast? Well, he doesn't, because all that level is all one movement, because it is coming from the heart-mind. It is necessary to train very hard to achieve this level, since you cannot integrate something that isn't there to begin with. So in Taoism, they say there is only one emotion, but that is a statement based on how the heart-mind integrates everything. The further a human being moves away from the heart-mind and focuses on all the infinite pieces, that the further one moves away from being free inside. There is no integration. If you think from the heart-mind, you think holographically, not linearly. So where is this place where everything integrates? Every separation exists, and every ability to have it become one exists. In Chinese, the saying is, no matter what you think, where does it come from? and that is the heart-mind. So, what is the heart-mind? The simplest explanation is the common space that both your intent and your emotions share. Now, that is the way it is often explained in the West, and that is the most feeble of all explanations of what it is. It is a bit like describing an encyclopedia as a book with a lot of information. The heart-mind is a few other things. Now, the term heart, used in this sense, is not the way heart is used in, for instance, the New Age movement, where it is just the emotions, heartfelt, or having a good heart. It is not you, the emotional heart, because in Eastern and Taoist thought, the heart has two distinctly different qualities. At one level, the heart is related to emotions. Studies have shown that there are more thinking type cells in the heart than in the brain. The heart puts out more electrical impulses than the brain. So, in one sense, the three dantians of Taoism could be called the brain that is in your belly, your brain that's in your heart, and the brain that's in your head. In Eastern thought, the heart is where the center of human consciousness resides. We think of it being in the brain, in the head. In the East, it is in the heart. That which moves between the one life and another, that which is the the ultimate force of being conscious of everything, resides in the heart. So when the term heart-mind is used, it usually refers to that consciousness, not the emotions. On the other side, mind is used not just in the sense of thinking, but the absolute capacity for thought. And not just the thought you think something, but the capacity that even allows thought to come about. So the heart-mind is the place where this capacity for thought to come about and essential consciousness of the human being are combined. What that combined thing does is that it recognizes any thought or perception as yin-yang, or a series of yin-yangs. But there is also a place from which yin and yang arise, and that place has no specific quality of any yin or yang, and yet allows yin and yang to appear. This is where all thoughts in your mind originate, but it is not the thought, because once you have the thought, what you recognize is the concrete expression of the thought, the place that allows the thought to emerge comes about, that even merge, is the heart-mind. Now, the disease of our modern age is anxiety. War, economy, politics, all are creating anxiety in our society. The point of modern life creates anxiety. So this is a major symptom that the heart-mind is also, heart-mind is asleep, and yin and yang are running the show. Everything that someone gets anxious about is a yin or yang, and anxiety intrinsically has a tendency to breed fear. Trying to remove anxiety through thinking it through doesn't usually work, because you're trying to use yin and yang to overcome yin and yang. And the more you use them, the more yin and yang you come up with. So the place where all this anxiety occurs from is also the heart-mind, which gives birth to it. You can use trying to be calm to try to counter anxiety, but that is just another yin-yang. If the heart-mind is active, you can go through being calm and being manic, and you would still not be bothered. You would still be stable. Tapping into the heart-mind is what allows a person to become stable. The heart-mind is of one's own nature, what integrates all thought. Since it gives both birth to all thought, but has no thought in particular, it integrates every thought that can ever be in your mind, or come into your mind, or that your mind has forgotten, but is still stored somewhere, just waiting to be awakened. So the question is how you can start to tap into the heart-mind. And the truth is, nobody can really tell you how to do it. But you can begin to work on it while doing Neigong practices like God's or meditation. If you can learn to keep your mind focused on that, you are feeling what is the experience, what is that sense to come just before a thought pops out. If you can maintain that while you practice, your thoughts will begin to integrate, and eventually it is the secret to doing all the parts of God's at the same time. It cannot be accomplished by thinking out each separate part. The heart-mind is this space that integrates all the parts and holds them together. So keep trying to be aware of the space just before all thought comes into your mind. You want to identify that space. Relax into it and see comfortably into it. That is what allows the integration of all the parts of your practice, including Tai Chi, gods, and meditation, into your life. A lot of words, but hopefully some good information.
It's a lot of words. I will read it and listen to it many, many times, I'm sure. But it also, for me, there were these like, because we've talked about this before, but it made some connections that I need to revisit. I also have to say that Bill, I heard a lot of clanging, and then he seemed to be talking to Madeline, and then he sent a chat that he had to go deal with a plumbing problem. So he's been gone for a little while.
Oh dear. Well, good thing. Good thing I'm recording.
Yes. Well, I find the notes very helpful. But I was really thinking I might read the notes, but I might also read along with the notes and listen to you again. So
yeah,
as we go through it, but it's a lot, but it's a good it's a good amount of a lot. It's a good a lot.
It's a really at this stage, I think it's really important for you to begin to develop an awareness and understanding of that.
Right, and I think you have talked about it before, recently in particular, but this just brings it deeper, which makes it more for me, it makes it more understandable.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
that's class. That's good. That's good. I appreciate that. It's also a good time. Hopefully I will have some extra days off. God help me. I have the kids here a little bit, but this is a good thing to. Yeah, I look forward to getting the notes today. It would be good to start tomorrow with this.
Well, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. What are you all doing?
We're just the two of us, very quiet.
Very quiet. Yeah. We only have 10 this year, which is quite small for us.
Well, I knew it wouldn't be just two of you.
No, the kids and their spouses, and at least a couple of the grandkids. The other one's off with their mom, but we'll see them later this weekend. So,
good.
And some friends that we've been doing Thanksgiving with. Someone said, my sister sent a picture on Facebook from 51 years ago when we were in New York and we had a Thanksgiving. And Nella wasn't even born yet, but Joanne, who's been a housemaid and a friend since college. So she and her daughter will join us again. So.
Oh, great.
It'd be nice to see them, and they just live down near New Haven, but we don't see them that often. So looking forward to just hanging with the family.
That's great. Yeah, we used to always have Thanksgiving with Jane's family in Washington, but we're just not traveling on this.
This weekend, the news keeps saying it's going to be one of the busiest travel weekends ever. And I'm like, and I look at these pictures of these people in these lines for TSA for hours, and I think, I'm sorry, I'm so glad my family's closer, or see them another time, or
I wish ours was closer.
Yeah, Washington is a haul. The last time I went, I took a train. Oh, here's Bill. Back from his plumbing problem.
Yeah, the cartridge in our kitchen sink thing is giving way or something. It's leaking. So I think I have someone down here someplace.
I heard the clanging right before you left.
Oh, clang! That I don't think that was actually the pipe.
No, that wasn't it.
it may have been,
Madeline
you know,
Gordon, what is going
I think
on?
it was clearly a break in the heart-mind connection.
Absolutely. uh,
So I'm sorry, but I will watch.
yeah, no, understand.
You got to deal with things.
Yeah.
Hope you have a nice Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Yeah, enjoy.
thanks. I hope
All right.
you
And
also, both of you. Yes.
good luck
Thank.
with your plumbing.
Thanks.
Yeah, terrible
Okay.
when things go the day before a holiday.
Yeah.
Anyway, all
Uh,
right. Well, very good. And then
uh,
we'll resume. We'll resume. I have not done any flow this week, but my goal is to at least begin the second paragraph and go over enough of it to go, oh, I need to go over this more.
I
So
had
that's my goal for next week when Carol joins us again.
I had a really good flow of the second paragraph yesterday. Actually, I've been working on opening and closing in it.
Uh-huh.
So we'll look at that.
We will look at that, and I will. I promised I will. I promised to myself as much as anybody else that I will. I will
Sure.
have time to to do that.
You need a couple of extra hours in the day.
I just really thought that I could take this week and kind of think of it as a mini sabbatical. Not like I'm not doing any work, but just be able to go deeper into some of the training stuff I need to. Was needed to talk to somebody last night, and I thought, well, that would be my goal. And it's just all the other little things that are just like,
Yeah.
people calling and saying, I need you to this, or can we chat about that one, or can you get me this document, or follow up on the War Researchers League mailing, or it's just there's no end to the little strings.
Nope.
So at least one of these obligations I am passing on as of June, but that means the next 6 months are probably a little more busy because I need to make sure I can successfully pass it off. But
yeah,
then there'll be a break. But then there'll be
that'll be nice.
It will be. And I'll still be there to be support, but I won't be the primary president of the board. So
that's good.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well,
all right, David. Well, I hope you have a lovely day tomorrow. And,
I will. We will.
Yeah. Very good.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Great. Bye-bye.
Bye.